flipping back the calendar to highlight yesteryear's finest while exploring the vast archives in cinema history. This is the Movie Review Rewind podcast on Nashville Movie Dispatch.
Merry Christmas Eve, bitch. It is the Movie Review Rewind podcast right here on Nashville Movie Dispatch. That, of course, is the opening line to the film we'll be discussing today, set on Christmas Eve, Sean Baker's Tangerine. I am your host for the show, the EIC at Sobros Network, Big Natural Stoney Keeley. You can follow me on Twitter at Stoney Keeley and Letterboxd, collectively at Sobros Network on all major social media platforms. And, of course, you can check out all of our work reviewing and discussing film at NashvilleMovieDispatch.substack.com. Joined, as usual, by my partner in crime at Nashville Movie Dispatch. He is a board member on the Music City Film Critics Association. He is a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association as well. Our resident film critic, Mr. Big Shot, Brandon Vick. Brandon, it's the holidays. How you feeling?
I love the holidays.
It's a beautiful time of year.
I
Reflective,
love the
slow
season. I love that it's cold.
Yeah.
When I was parking here today, I saw one of your neighbors. Looks like they're leaving to go out of town. So I'm excited to see what they have that's nice in their house.
Okay. You know, you're gonna see what they have in their Amazon packages too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's we love Christmas.
Yeah. Well, we thought that this would be a nice little off the beaten path kind of Christmas movie to talk about. Tangerine, set on Christmas Eve. Very visceral look.
And may I say, people who want to argue about Die Hard not being a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Can't argue this one.
You can't argue with Tangerine.
No.
It's not a Christmas Eve I'd want to have, but
I don't know. It seemed
Christmas Eve. You think it seems fun?
It seemed like an adrenaline rush.
Now that's true if that's what you're going for.
Yeah,
that's true.
So we'll dig into it, but we thought this was the perfect opportunity to bring our buddy Brett back to the show. Brett, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
How are you feeling this time of year?
Good. I've just finished Christmas shopping.
Okay.
They can't listen to this because they don't have devices, but
yeah,
I bought my children. I mean, everyone knows the hottest toy this year is a Pickle Me Elmo.
Okay.
And I got my hands on one. So they're gonna have to share. I couldn't get two, but yeah.
You guys are both fathers. Are you going to be adding Tangerine to your family Christmas movie night rotation?
I don't think so. My son, who's he'll be 3 in February. He really loves Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
So I just don't think we can change.
It is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I don't think we can change that up.
Yeah. As far as outside the box Christmas movies go, this one was on a list that I saw pop up, and I thought, oh well, there's two Movie Review Rewind episodes for December because there's 5 Mondays, and we always do Pod Monday on Nashville Movie Dispatch. There's a new movie podcast that drops every Monday. I thought, well, this might be an opportunity for us to talk about one of the heavyweights, which we'll do here in a few weeks, but to also sneak in one of these films that conventionally probably wouldn't be considered a Christmas movie.
Yeah, no.
But it's set on,
I don't think so.
On Christmas Eve, so it'd be fun to talk about it a little bit. But it just so happened to work out that Sean Baker, who directed Tangerine, is back in the scene, so to speak, because of the wild success of Anora, which won Best Picture at the Oscars.
He won 4 Oscars.
Yeah, that was a big night for Sean Baker and Anora. Mikey Madison wins for Best Actress. Really successful night for that film.
Yeah.
And so just the timing for this one just kind of worked out. But looking back on it now, where I kind of want to start the show, and let me get the synopsis in before we dig in. Tangerine, 2015 American comedy drama film directed by Sean Baker. Set on Christmas Eve, the story follows a transgender sex worker who discovers her boyfriend and pimp has been cheating on her.
And if that doesn't say Christmas, I don't know what does.
So
that sounds just as fun as Tim Allen becoming Santa.
That's something you definitely want to share with your family, with your loved ones. Absolutely.
Exactly.
This is kind of, we were talking about this a little bit before the show, revisiting it through the lens of Anora and the success that Sean Baker has had. Even though he's made stuff prior to 2015, Brandon, you said that this film, Tangerine, you felt was really the film that put Sean Baker on the map.
Yeah, I think it was well received, and I can't remember if it premiered at Sundance or not.
It had a big festival run. I know it was at Sundance. I don't know if that was the
that
premiere.
Probably was the premiere, maybe.
It was at Sundance.
It was.
According to Wikipedia, which is never wrong.
That's correct. So I actually thought it was his first film, but it's not.
His fifth.
But this one was a big deal. He also did it all on some version of an iPhone.
Was shot with 3 iPhone 5S smartphones.
So yeah, it captured the attention of Hollywood, which would lead him to do the Florida Project. And so yeah, I remember seeing it when it had first come out at some point in that year when it was actually in theaters.
Yeah.
And it was nice to revisit because holiday cheer.
Of course.
You always get holiday cheer from it. But I think I kind of understand it more because Sean Baker has gone on to do Florida Project, Red Rocket, and as you were talking about, Anora. So going back, kind of the way that he does things, the stories he wants to tell, the people that he casts, the kind of environment, the atmosphere, it's all kind of relatively raw and kind of the underbelly of some kind of town or the work. He loves prostitutes. I think that should be mentioned.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed it.
Sex workers.
Sex workers.
Red Rocket's about a porn star.
That's true. Well, yeah, but then Anora comes back to sex workers again.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying they're all sex workers.
And
porn stars.
When I was a kid,
we're going to get canceled.
They were called whores when I was a kid.
Okay, there we go.
When I was a kid, that was
times have changed.
That was in the 70s. Yeah. So things have changed, but I actually found it a lot funnier than I remember.
I did. I thought it was really funny.
Kind of discounted the humor of it all and the kind of immediacy that it has. Mm-hmm. Like it's all just kind of within a day, and it's such a variety of walks of life. that I kind of forgot how like I actually laughed more than a few times just because of how ridiculous it was, but also these reactions of things, because the whole plot is basically like her trying to find this woman that supposedly her pimp / boyfriend is cheating on. And anyway, it kind of goes off the rails from there. But I liked it.
The Wikipedia summary is just set on Christmas Eve. The story follows a transgender sex worker who discovers her boyfriend and pimp has been cheating on her. One sentence like that. That's the movie. that is what the film is. But I do think that it was pretty cool to see this, because you saw this. Did you see it when it came out in 2015, or was it on down the road?
It was whenever it did get that release, which I still think it was in 2015. I did go see it.
Yeah. So Brett, am I mistaken? You saw this for the first time for this podcast too.
I did. And one of the reasons it stood out to me, this exact same story happened to me in Christmas.
What?
Is that right?
2021, I think.
Yeah.
Is this at Krispy Kreme, though? Or is it Donut
was,
Time?
Yeah.
We have a Donut Time here in Mount Juliet, by the way.
You do?
It's out near Gladeville. Yeah.
That is
Donut
right.
Time?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm a diabetic, so I don't know.
Gotcha. Sorry, Brett. I didn't mean to interrupt your point.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yes, this was the first time I'd seen it. And lots of Anora vibes, like the seeds of Anora.
Yeah.
You feel it going in that direction.
I'm just curious.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Yeah,
wait,
we can't just breeze past the fact that you said this happened to you.
Yeah, you chug that berry monkey, but you tell us how this was like your own Christmas.
Well, I had to go around. It was when I was looking for Pickle Me Elmo originally
that's right.
in 2021.
That's right.
I had to go around town looking for him, and then my friend Robin was singing at the club and had this event that she kept handing out flyers for and wanted everyone to come, and I was me and the local broker who had Pickle Me Elmo. I took him with me.
Gotcha.
And we went, and it was a very sweet moment.
Yeah.
I remember when this was a couple years ago, but the hottest toy was Slurbo Man. You might remember him.
I do remember that.
Slurbo Man, yeah.
I never got that one.
He slurred his words because he was a drunk. And anyway, I bought that for my nephew. He was 3. He was so excited for it. It was a mix between like a kind of like a Johnny Cochran and the Brooklyn Brawler. And anyway, fun,
I remember it well.
Fun toy. KB Toys had it, and so I totally get it. But Robin, you said,
yes,
Robin. I see. Okay, all right.
Purposefully ambiguous.
Yeah. Well, is it I or a Y?
Both.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, I'm suspicious now.
Okay. I did think I don't want to let this just pass us by with me forgetting to say it, but I did catch myself when the cab driver shows up to the show, and they'd already left. But I did catch myself thinking, "Oh, that's so sweet. He actually went to the show."
And he's in Aurora.
Yeah, he's the dad,
head.
Or not the dad.
No.
He's the guy that they send.
Yeah, he's the head
on behalf
kind of Russian.
The dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea.
He stood out to me for that, and then I started looking a little bit more. I think he's in almost all of Sean Baker's well-known movies.
So I was wondering if he was in Florida Project and Red Rocket.
I think he is. I believe
I
so.
loved him in Aurora.
We could look. He was great in Aurora. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I'm going to look at his filmography before we move on, because this is important.
And can I say that he was kind of the most, I think in a lot of ways, the most tragic character.
Yeah,
because of what the life that he desires and the life that he has, and then it's kind of what I think it's one of the last scenes you see him in. And it's it's funny when, like, I think it's his mother, right, that they're fighting in the but when the dust settles and everything, and it is I think in a lot of ways relatively sad of kind of the life, because it's almost like, looking at it now, it's almost like he has never been able to live exactly how he wanted to live.
Yeah.
But now he has these responsibilities, and it's not that he doesn't love his family, but clearly he's not being truthful about who he is and what he wants.
Yeah, I really did feel like that was a sobering, sad addition to the film, because it is like you could just kind of see it in him, like the frustration, like the wanting more. And
well, it's that first scene when you don't quite know yet.
Yeah.
But he actually has a woman, and he is pissed.
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing on this side of the tracks?" What, like, so it kind of sets the tone of, like, he knows exactly what he wants, but it's not but it's still it's still just a fake thing. It's almost like his family is the fake part of it. But it's also kind of funny when he's like, "What is this? What is this? Get out. Get the fuck out." So it's kind of funny.
Well, in the trajectory of the film, by the time he shows up, you've already met Cinderella. And in my mind, I'm kind of viewing it as, we're seeing how these different people are marginalized and kind of pushed aside. And, and I was thinking of him as one of those people too.
That's
so
true.
I was really surprised. Like, I thought we were going to, because even earlier in the film, you get people throwing up in his cab, that, like, people kind of mistreating his occupation, his status, all of that. Yeah. And so I kind of expected, he's going to be another person who's mistreated in this way.
Yeah.
But then in a way, he's passing it along.
Yeah.
Like you said, whatever we want to say about kind of his desire there, he's deceiving his family and that kind of thing, so he's kind of passing that along.
But the thought of, like, trying to get out of a Christmas Eve dinner seems impossible.
Yes, that
Only Tom Cruise could do something like that because that just seems impossible.
I don't know.
But I
man.
will say, what a hell of a car wash he had.
That was,
hell of a car wash.
That was a good car wash.
Wow.
Truly. Yeah. Got his money's worth there.
I
for
guess
sure.
so.
I don't know about you guys, but we have pretty big Christmas Eves. I think it would be really easy for me. How far do I want to take this joke?
Yeah.
It would be
ahead.
really easy for me to slip off unnoticed.
You think so?
Yeah, careful.
Oh, not here.
To go Essa Hooker's
not me.
D.
No. No. Not
I couldn't
me.
resist. I at least censored it.
It would be immediately, I'd be immediately found out.
Yeah.
They think it would be even weird if I even went to a car wash.
Well, you're the center of attention, though.
Center of attention?
I just sit in the back and I don't,
well,
just
maybe.
vibe.
If anything, my wife will know.
Oh,
my wife will know if I'm not there.
My wife doesn't care. She does not care.
No,
where
let me
I'm
tell
at.
you, when you have kids, you will because
because
if
somebody needs to be.
If they're having to look after them, they're going to say, "Where the hell's the other one?"
That's right.
Yeah,
that's how I get trapped. Now, as far as other family, maybe not. That could be true.
At the same time, because you have a kid, that might be a good distraction.
That's true.
Because grandparents just are there.
Just
for the
take the kid with you.
No, that's true. Yeah, I could. I mean, nobody would get anything out of that. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, just put your kid in the car seat.
Right before anything touches anything, my son will cry out a big ass dinosaur roar, and trust me when I tell you, ain't nobody want to hear that. Ain't nobody want to hear that.
All right, so I looked it up, and Sean Baker's first directorial credit is for a film called Four Letter Words in 2000.
Okay.
I looked at...
And Tangerine was what, 2015?
Yeah, since then he did Takeout in 2004, Prince of Broadway in 2008, Starlet in 2012, Tangerine in 2015, The Florida Project 2017, Red Rocket 2021, and then Honora in 2024. The actor that plays Razmik, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
You're talking about the taxi cab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Karan Karajulian, I'm butchering his name. Joined him in 2004's Takeout. So the second movie Sean Baker did, he's been in every Sean Baker movie since then.
Okay. Wow. All right.
So he is a lifer, and he even got a co-producing credit for 2012's Starlet. So they're boys. They're boys.
Yeah,
Sean Baker.
I don't remember. I really don't remember him in Florida Project or.
I feel like he was
Red Rocket.
pretty far down the cast list. I have not seen Florida Project, but I looked at that specifically, and he was pretty far down the cast list. So maybe he's a minor character.
Neither of you have seen Florida Project, right?
No, I think I'm going to watch it.
Y'all should
I'm going to watch it. Yeah,
y'all should really watch it. It's really good. And if I'm not mistaken, Willem Dafoe, Brooklyn Prince, who played the girl in Florida Project, I don't. Like, she was nominated for stuff, not for an Oscar, but I'm pretty sure Willem Dafoe got for supporting actor. He didn't win, but he was nominated. But that was my favorite Sean Baker film until Honora.
Yeah. I mean, Honora's fantastic.
Yeah, and then Red Rocket is... Now, I've only seen the main four. I have not seen the ones prior to Tangerine. But I will say that Red Rocket was the least impressive for me. And even though Simon Rex got a lot of... I mean, anything Sean Baker does... kind of brings out, some great performances, and it's still kind of this like gritty, raw side of life that a lot of us are not familiar with. And I think it's funny, but there's also tragedy to it. And I think that's the case for at least those four. Yeah. From Tangerine on.
Yeah. Again, not having seen the Florida Project, the three films that I have seen of his, there is a common thread there of, like Brett mentioned, like marginalized people, sex workers, and how...
I don't know if there's sex workers in Florida Project. I'll be honest.
Well, no, I'm just saying the three that I've seen.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of these themes are constant.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's a hooker in that one.
Thank you. How like people are impacted by the industry, the exploitation, that sort of thing. I think it's a really interesting glimpse into that, those three films. But I felt like I benefited by watching Tangerine for the first time, having seen Honora, having seen Red Rocket. And I'm curious for you, Brandon, just like from the raw experience of it, seeing it for the first time, not really being familiar with Sean Baker's game, so to speak.
Yeah.
How did the film impact you in that regard of showing, in a sense, like what these marginalized people from different walks of life are going through?
Well, and this was the first Sean Baker movie I had seen when I saw it.
Right.
But the way he's able to explore these areas of life that exists, even though maybe we pretend it doesn't, but he also gives such humanity to it that they are real people. Like, this is a real thing. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with what they're doing. But the thing is that it exists and that they are human beings. And there's a way that he touches on these things while also showing the, like I said, kind of the humorous side of, like, okay, look how these things are being seen. Look how they're being treated. Look, like, take away whatever their profession is, what they do for money.
Yeah.
Look at this scenario. Look at this situation. And, but I will say, and I think going back to it, and I have not watched Tangerine since I first saw it. So now I've gotten 3 more films from Sean Baker, and it very much aligns with the type of stories he wants to tell, the type of people he wants to kind of explore, depict. And it kind of makes sense. Like, he is kind of shining a light on a slice of life that I think there's prejudice that comes with it. There's judgment, but there is this sympathetic, empathetic look at that of what they do and how they do it, as far as, like, the people, not so much as them trying to search for, like, you know, someone's cheating on me or whatever.
Yeah,
like, that's kind of like, that's a universal theme that's been depicted for God knows how long. But I love where he kind of puts these situations in, and it's things that might seem awkward, or they're foreign, or maybe you don't like, maybe you want to dismiss it.
Yeah.
And I like that about him, that he's willing to do it, and he's willing to give these people some humanity and personality. And to me, it's very much Florida Project is very much one. I'm not quite sure if I can say it about Red Rocket, but I do think Anora, Florida Project, and Tangerine is that it's location, location, location.
Very well. Yeah. This does kind of feel like a glimpse into the world of LA. There's a whole lot going on there. And that is kind of what I wanted to segue into, because this film was heralded for his filming it on an iPhone. And
it looks good.
It does. It looks really
looks
good. The color in this, I feel like he uses color to kind of bring out a sort of vibrant nature of the characters. The way he uses music, the type of music, it almost feels like you've, like, popped an Adderall and you're just, like, hyper focused. Maybe cocaine. I've never done cocaine, so I can't speak to the effects.
There is these. I've smoked oregano, and I can tell you that that there are
Stephen Whitehouse's driveway.
That's right. There are certain things. I mean, I'll appreciate that. There are certain things where it kind of, like, there's this kind of, like, tone and kind of energy, and then that the music kicks in. And a lot of times it's when she's kind of like, someone is on the move.
They're on edge.
And we're not staying in the same place for that long either.
Yeah.
Those are the things that hit you from the beginning of the film that it's almost like you've got to catch up with them. You've got to, exactly what you said, Stoney, the yellow tone of the images, the soundtrack, like it's all in your face, and you've got to kind of keep up as it starts.
And I didn't make note of this until late in the film, so this isn't like data tracked or anything like that, but I felt like there was a sense of warm colors when heightened senses, like anger, you're on a mission.
Okay.
You get like an orange yellow kind of tint, but then there were cases where things were a little calmer outside of the donut time, where it's almost like a bluish cool kind of tint to it. Just an observation I made. I'd have to go back and watch it to really like keep track of that. But it felt like he really leveraged those things from a cinematography standpoint, from a production standpoint, to really enhance the visceral, guttural sort of nature of this story and what these characters were going through. Do you have? I thought you were about to say something.
I was just going to say, you're talking about that donut time and outside, but while they're in donut time, as a diabetic, I was looking at those cases and seeing some of those eclairs and donuts. And
oh man,
let me tell you, I just went on ahead and took some pills anyway. I didn't even
best
care.
to be safe.
I didn't, and just to be clear, I didn't taste anything. I just did it.
Yeah. I do love the donut time scene because it does kind of feel like one of those moments where all these people from different walks of life kind of intersect.
It's a perfect location in such a weird, strange way.
Yeah. But back to the production. After viewing, this is courtesy of Wikipedia, the principal photography took place in Hollywood, including West Hollywood Clubs, Santa Monica Boulevard, on December 24th, 2014. So they actually started principal photography on Christmas Eve to track with the film. And they wrapped on January 18th of 2015 after viewing iPhone experiments on Vimeo. Baker shot the film using iPhone 5S smartphones. The money saved on camera equipment was used to pay for shooting locations and to pay extras. They used the Film IC Pro app, a video app to control focus, aperture, and color temperature, as well as capture video clips at higher bit rates, and an anamorphic adapter from Moondog Labs to capture widescreen, as well as Tiffin's Steadicam Smoothie to capture smooth moving shots. Baker was able to get some of the kit for free after reaching out to Moondog Labs, whose anamorphic adapters were still in their prototype stage, on Kickstarter. They sent him 3. He had informed them that he was working with Mark Duplass, how do you pronounce Duplass, on the project. It would let us shoot the way Sergio Leone would shoot Westerns. So this was pretty, like, ground roots level stuff, filmmaking.
Fucking indie film.
That's fucking indie film. That's better than I could have put it. But it was something
there is a lot of Soderbergh.
Yes, there is
approach in that, and that's to be appreciated and respected. So
that was something that he was lauded for this film, was just kind of, the gritty kind of man on the street, like DIY filmmaking aspect of it as well. But it fits perfectly with the story. Yeah. So there's like, even if he didn't want to do it, that's the perfect way to capture a story like this, because you believe it. You believe you're walking in certain areas that honestly in real life you wouldn't go to, you wouldn't turn down, you wouldn't meet these characters. You get this over-the-shoulder perspective. Yes, and it feels very visceral and very, it's very disorienting. It was to me when the film starts. Oh yeah, there's some some chaos. And then but once you catch it, you're like, this is, like you said, this is perfect for what this film is doing. Yeah, so this, like we said before, this would be great to watch on Christmas. Yeah, made its world premiere January 23rd, 2015 at Sundance as part of their next program. Magnolia Pictures bought world rights to the film and confirmed they plan releasing it later in 2015, and then it hit the circuit. It hit San Francisco International Film Festival, Seattle International Film Festival, Oak Cliff Film Festival, had its Australian debut at the Sydney Film Festival, Provincetown International Film Festival, the BAM Cinema Fest in the Czech Republic. This was like the definition of a festival film. Had some legs, and obviously felt like a sort of launching point for a new stratosphere for Sean Baker. Oh yeah. So, big picture wise, like total package, I felt like this film was a lot funnier than I expected it to be, including in moments that I don't think should have been funny, but you couldn't help but laugh. When she says you didn't have to Chris Brown the bitch, that I was belly laughing at that. But I do think that the style and the direction behind this film really kind of really kind of took it to another level. So from a production standpoint, I guess, finishing up our thoughts on that, Brett, I don't know if you got the chance to speak on like how you saw the production of it and how it enhanced the film.
Yeah, I think it absolutely did. It hit the tone of what's kind of this manic feeling of the whole film.
Oh, yeah.
The production value matches that very much. You know, earlier we were talking about it being a Christmas movie, and we were kind of joking about that. But I think it does fit in the way that, especially from an adult, viewpoint, maybe not from a child's eyes, from an adult standpoint, that some of that magic is gone, and it's just a day that some people are just getting through.
Yeah.
And I think it fits in that, in everything that we see happens throughout the film.
Do you think a child would see some kind of magic out of this movie?
I do, absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Specifically in donut time.
See, I did feel like setting this film on Christmas Eve was a really nice touch, because I did catch myself thinking throughout the film where I would be on Christmas Eve, and like surrounded by loved ones, having a nice feast of a meal, and seeing the kids running around excited for Santa Claus and all that stuff. And to think like, man, different worlds. I think it was a pretty harrowing thought to have in that moment, and I don't know that you get that impact if the film is not set on Christmas Eve.
It's
a
funny.
Good creative decision.
It's funny you say that, because even though like it is mentioned throughout, and I think there are some actual like Christmas decorations, there were times where I totally forgot this was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Like there were times where like it had totally escaped me that we're actually talking, like when, and then it's kind of brought back in, like with the guy we're talking about, the dinner, and you're like, oh yeah, like this is like a Christmas Eve dinner, and he's acting like he doesn't have time for his family and his mother and everything else. And so
but the glaring sun of LA and all of that, it feels very
There's also where
Christmas.
LA doesn't really feel like Christmas, because it's 70 fucking degrees anyway, so nobody it's the same as it was in the summer. So
there's a line in the film where a different guy, he's not a cab driver, he's just a guy driving around looking for love in all the wrong places, where he says, "Come on, it's Christmas." And what he is talking about, this is a man whose family is driving him nuts. So he is propositioning the sex worker to just hold his balls while he jerks off.
Yeah.
After saying, "Come on, it's Christmas."
And he's still not happy and wants his money back.
Yeah, so
That's what I love.
There is some like jarring disconnects there.
Oh yeah,
in this
absolutely.
film.
And I think it does really kind of support what you're saying, is that the difference of what that day means to someone here and someone that is as far as possible from this reality.
Yeah.
But again, there's also this kind of like sadness to it all, that this is how people are spending their Christmas Eve, because that's not how you are spending your Christmas Eve.
But there's also this overlapping sentimentality of, I think of the character Alexandra. She's passing out these flyers of this event she's going to do.
Oh yeah.
And they get there, and I mean, to me, that's the most striking moment of the film, when
she's singing.
Maybe not that. The end is the most striking, but that's one of the most striking. Is when she's singing, and it's a very sincere moment. It could be funny, it could be whatever, but it's kind of this moment of who will show up for me when I am doing the thing that I'm most passionate about, and the thing that I really care about. And despite this quest that Cinderella is on, she shows up for her friend in this moment and brings this other woman, Dina, who they kind of have this connection during that time of like, we're both people who kind of find ourselves in the same situation.
Yeah.
As I was rewatching this, I just thought, God, Emilia Perez really was a shitty movie.
It was.
Yes, this is the better version of what that wanted to be. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And they did it roughly 10 years ago.
I think it was also a nice touch to kind of show that often the case, again, to go back to the portrayal of marginalized people, it's like the marginalized people are there for one another, but no one from the outside is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
And
they
I
only
thought-
have themselves in the for
and
survival.
I thought that was a really effective component of
Yeah.
the storytelling here. Was like, man, there's something about the film that makes you feel, and part of that is because of the point of view directing, like Brett mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in it. You've got the third person, like you're there in the room with them, and it was just really, really effective to me. And I just, man, it was for as funny as it was, I think there were moments like that kind of made me feel deeply lonely and deeply sad.
There is some that kind of stop you in your tracks, and they kind of remind you of like,
yeah,
it's not. This isn't some fairy tale fictional thing. Like this really is people who are doing their best, and is I guess the privilege we have is seeing it from an outside view.
Yeah.
But to credit to Sean Baker is that he's also, this is the most inviting kind of thing, like over your shoulder type thing of like, if you're going to walk in someone's shoes, this is pretty much it, as close as you may get.
Yeah.
Well, and I hope I'm not jumping ahead in the conversation in this, but there's that moment at the end that is, there's a deep conflict that's taken place, but then there's this moment of shared shame, humiliation, whatever you want to call it, and shared, we both know what it's like to be treated this way by others.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give up a part of my dignity to care for you in that, which is
beautiful.
the best moment of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to admit, I cried at the end of this movie.
It's great.
It was
Bitch.
it was awesome. Yeah.
But you know what? And that's well said, Brett, because it is something that it's very subtle, and it is very effective because at the end of the day, there is this real friendship and relationship, no matter what else has happened around them. And there is this sign of giving this to your friend, because there is a humiliation to it and a degrading aspect to it, but nobody knows it more than the person that she's sitting next to, and that it does say a lot. And honestly, it really hits because of the journey you've been through for an hour and 20 minutes, or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's talk about that nice little twist at the end. Spoilers if you haven't seen Tangerine. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're
stabbed.
why you're listening to this podcast, but a nice little twist at the end when they're outside the donut time, and Chester reveals that to Cindy that he had also slept with Alexandra, who was Cindy's friend throughout. It's a great moment of betrayal, moment of conflict, as Brett called it a second ago. And then Cindy kind of storms off, leaving everything, and then a car drives up, appearing to solicit work from her, and then they throw a cup of their piss in her face and drive away shouting transphobic slurs. And that's where we see Alexandra catch up with Cindy, takes her to the laundromat, and that's where we see she's throwing her clothes in the wash, and then Cindy has to take her wig off, which is a really humiliating moment. And so she throws it in.
And she's also stripped down too, so she's as vulnerable and naked as humanly possible.
And that's where we see Alexandra take her wig off, offer it to Cindy, and that's how the film ends. But really just felt like, for this wild, unhinged ride that we've been on, that was, like I said, visceral, guttural, it was funny. It got to a point where it felt very real, raw, and emotional. And in that moment, they sprinkled something that was incredibly beautiful and hopeful out of it. And I just thought it was a really good way, a really effective way for Sean Baker to land the plane.
I do too, and especially coming from kind of where everything kind of comes to a head at donut time. To then we kind of settle in to where it all started with these two characters and how personal their friendship and relationship is, and really the friendship that has always been there, no matter what else has kind of transpired.
Which to me is the hallmark of a great holiday film.
Bingo. And I thought at the end when they showed Santa come across, that was nice.
That was great.
That was nice.
Great.
There's the moment, Brandon, maybe you can speak to this. You've seen the 4 major Sean Baker films, but it's very reflective of what happens at the end of Honora. The wall comes down at the end.
Yeah.
And there's this moment of connection and kind of and I just wonder if is that kind of a hallmark of him.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't quite I know there's truth in that in the 4 films that I've seen. And I know like Red Rocket is definitely one where he kind of comes to terms with who he is at the end. Forgive me, I don't quite remember the ending of Florida Project, but I do know there is a lot of it that deals with kind of the single mother and these girls that run around the hotel that's ran by Willem Dafoe. But yes, I think that's always in some form or fashion, there's a presence of that no matter what kind of life someone's leaving or a life that's just being lived, there's also this kind of redeeming quality about it. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about the humanity of these characters, that no matter what situation they're in, they are still people. Mm-hmm. And I think he's great at it. And and honestly, Tangerine just kind of re-solidified what these other films have. And like, obviously Honora was fresh on the brain. And it's kind of like, he's kind of giving respect to people that I think a lot of people don't. And that's kind of what, and it goes back to the marginalized, communities that he's kind of like, what, it happens. These are real people. They're living their lives. So yes, I'm almost 100% confident that the Florida Project addresses that in some way, but I definitely know Tangerine, Honora, and obviously Red Rocket, especially by the end, it is kind of, it does come to this sort of kind of head-on thing of kind of who they are, where we are, and what does it mean, and it doesn't matter, the life you're living. I think it all is kind of this revelation of the here and now, and what we're trying to what they're trying to accomplish and what they're trying to say. And I think he kind of he's done a fabulous job of just showing these different elements in life that I think a lot of us would say, yeah, you know what, I've never been there, I've never met these kind of people. And so to your point, I think he does. I think it's always something he's trying to bring to the table in some way within the storytelling.
When you mentioned this earlier, but those moments of levity throughout the film that, parts that are funny, parts that are light, whatever, we think of these situations as so dark and heavy. And they are. I mean, and he shows that too. But I think that's what really brings the humanity through, is those moments of levity that, like, this is normal life for some people.
And I think some of that goes into like the reactions. Like the reactions from these characters in Tangerine is funny because it's so outlandish to us, but then it's kind of like if you kind of take a step back and you find out, you forget what they do, but you like this person, they're cheating, and you want to find out who it is. It just so happens that they are, they're a prostitute. Okay. The guy that she's with, that's her pimp. Okay. And then, so it's like, how can you find yourself in these situations? But the thing is, there's people in these situations, but they're having the reaction that a lot of people would have if they weren't in this business. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yep. And I think that's what's fun about it and funny, but it's also heartbreaking in a way.
Yeah,
and Nora, all of these have those characteristics.
There's a level that we can all relate, whether we've had that experience or not. Yeah.
Right. I will say, I do think it would be more effective if I was a whore watching it.
Okay, well, that's a bit much, but...
I'm just saying, I think I would relate more.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Moving on. Actually, not moving on. Those are all the notes. Those are all the notes that I had on Tangerine. Brett, I know you said you had a lot of notes for this one. Did we get through everything that you wanted to talk about?
I think so. One thing that really stood out to me from the film, and we've hit on it some, is, and it's in Honora too. This is why I say you kind of see the seeds of where he's going to go with Honora later on, and maybe in his other films, of someone that's viewed as a commodity, but their desire to be valued by others. Whether it's Alexandra singing, whether it's Dina with Cindy in the bathroom, that moment where they kind of have this moment of we're opponents, but we're also in the same situation, and we understand one another. And, that's really kind of the point of Honora, too.
There does seem to be this understanding that they're not as different as you may think.
Yeah, and that really was the most kind of what stood out to me most from this film. Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think my Mount Rushmore, thank you for asking, is Honora, Red Rocket, Florida Project, and Tangerine.
That's going out on a limb there. That's controversial. For those that might want to pursue the prospects of adding Tangerine to their physical media collection, you can get it on Blu-ray for $12.99 on Amazon. There is a sick limited edition Blu-ray in a box set that is awesome, but it's sold out on Amazon. I looked it up on eBay, and you can get it for $50. But
I was wondering, because I know Honora came out in April for Criterion Collection.
Oh yeah,
and I was wondering, is that the only one?
I think so, because I looked it up. The box set that I'm looking at, I thought had the little Criterion C on the spine of it, but it doesn't show up in the collection.
I didn't think Florida Project. I was wondering, because I could see Tangerine being a part of it, but I mean, to my surprise, Honora was just like boom,
yeah,
right there. So,
well, it's awesome.
Yeah,
and Tangerine is awesome too. Where did you guys land rating wise? I went with a 3.5 out of 5.
You know what? Thank you for asking, because I did a letterbox of just the Sean Baker movies that I've seen, which is only those 4.
Okay.
And I have, thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This is podcasting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we live? I have Honora at number 1 for 4.5. The Florida Project 4.
Yeah.
Tangerine 3, and Red Rocket 2.5.
Okay. There you go, Brett.
But Tangerine being 3.5, I kind of like that too. But yeah, so they're all within there.
I gave it a 3.5. Also, that ending scene really kind of set it over the edge for me positively.
I do think not even just that at the dry clean or whatever it was, but also when we kind of everybody meets each other at donut time. And it's only an hour and 27 minutes, something like that. So by the time you're kind of piecing, someone meets someone. But when everybody kind of comes together at donut time, that's like it's very rewarding. And then the end with just the two ladies sitting there, being as vulnerable as possible, I think is a nice touch. It's a nice ending to a movie that I don't think anybody really could imagine the ending.
Yeah.
I think an interesting piece of this movie, and again, I can't help but connect it to Honora, is you start from this place of, I can't relate to these people. I don't know what this is like at all. And you end in a place of, I can relate to these people very well. Yeah. Which I think is what he does so well.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
very true.
That's such a great place to end the show on. But
let's not do it. Don't do it.
I want to ask if you guys had any particularly favorite quips, one-liners, or quotes, or scenes, or anything like that. If we're disqualifying the ending scene because it was a pretty powerful moment, I think that would naturally be the lasting impression in most people's minds. But
I found it funny when she's asking her pimp about sleeping with that one girl, and he just says he had to test the merchandise.
Yeah, that was something for sure. It was weird seeing Chelsea Lynn in this as well. If you don't remember her, she was Trailer Trash Tammy on Vine, which is a sign of the times in 2015.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was. She was a popular YouTuber back in the day. Like when
was she the other?
She was the. I guess she was the pimp in Dina's house that she was taken from.
Oh yeah. Okay, all right, got it.
So that was kind of jarring and kind of a reminder of like, oh yeah, that was a thing at one point in time as well. I don't know if she's still doing comedy or not, or if she's still doing. She's probably on TikTok or something now. But that was jarring. My favorite quote is, I tweeted this because I laughed so hard, is when Chester's like in the midst of losing his shit over everything that's going on between Cindy and Dina and Alexandra outside the donut time. He says, "You get my ass thrown out of motherfucking donut time where I conduct my day-to-day shit."
I also, it's not a single quote, but I just love seeing that worker at donut time, watching, getting pissed, yelling
Who's just
at them.
so over it.
Yeah, like
so
I just
over it.
love how like as things escalate, and what's his, the cab driver guy and his mother gets involved, and she's just like, it goes from almost being pissed to like she can't believe what's happening to like, I should call the police.
Yeah, well. That's going to do it. Any final thoughts? Anything we got to empty the chamber now before we get out of here?
No,
all right.
No, I wanted to end on my Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
And then Brett really one-upped everyone, and then you still continue.
Well, I wanted to get the favorite moments in. Yeah. So I don't know. All right.
I just
Here we go.
I wish I could have. I wish I could have related more if I was a whore. That's all.
Okay. All right.
And again, I grew up in the 70s, so I can say that.
All right. Well, that is Brandon that you hear, joined by Brett. I'm Stoney. This has been another episode of the Movie Review Rewind podcast. As usual, you can check out all of our work at NashvilleMovieDispatch.substack.com and subscribe to Nashville Movie Dispatch wherever you take in your podcast. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to relive one of the classics, one of the heavyweights of the Christmas rotation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Until then, you stay classy, moviegoers.